In the modern day, psychedelics have become a lot less taboo. But have you ever wondered about the history of psychedelics? One of these psychedelics is LSD, and today we'll be going through its history.
What is LSD? LSD is lysergic acid diethylamide, and it was first synthesized by Albert Hofmann in 1938 to reduce postpartum hemorrhage.
After LSD was first synthesized, Hofmann experienced the effects of LSD for the first time. It included hallucinations, mood changes, and changes in perception. In the 40s, there was interest in psychiatry for LSD to be experimented with and perhaps be used as a therapeutic remedy one day.
In the 1950s, LSD was promoted and sold under the brand name Delicid for psychiatrists to experiment with. Research with LSD was conducted by Humphrey Osmond in Saskatchewan in a remote hospital. His research helped to popularize psychedelics research around the world. Research was also conducted by the CIA and US military for LSD's use as a potential truth serum under the controversial project MKUltra. However, this was ultimately found to be ineffective and highly unethical. As LSD experimentation grew in popularity, it was ultimately found that many of the studies were anecdotal and lacked validity.
Experimentation was also ethically questionable. Harvard studies conducted by Richard Alpert included giving psilocybin to students off campus. I've got the psilocybin here. Let me know what the experience is like once you've tried it.
Okay, Professor, will do. Despite rising concerns over ethics and validity, one researcher at Harvard, Timothy Leary, continued to advocate for LSD research. Leary and Alpert were dismissed from Harvard in 1963, though the risky research methods used ultimately led to LSD being released into the general population through lab leaks.
In 1967, possession of LSD was prohibited in the United States as dangerous personal use rates had increased due to lab leaks. Banning was controversial, as some argued that the substance was only dangerous with incorrect dosage.
By the 1970s, the US had cut federal funding to LSD research and highly restricted human trials. This led to a general reduction of LSD research and marginalization of researchers, many of whom were forced to leave the field in favor of other financial opportunities.
Public paranoia towards LSD lasted at least until the 2000s, when its potential began to be rediscovered. Today, MDMA has been found to have many of the same benefits as LSD while also being less intense.
Efforts continue to combat the stigma towards psychedelics research, though LSD, psilocybin, and MDMA are all listed as Schedule I substances in the United States, making them difficult to obtain for research.